Your desire for optimization is not creating an optimized life. It's making you stuck. You're waiting for the right way to do something. It's like a driver waiting for every traffic light to be green before leaving the driveway. An entrepreneur building fancy automations for a business that doesn't have clients yet. A farmer trying to figure out the ideal crop layout while the planting season comes and goes. And in your life, it might look like researching productivity tools to improve your system at the cost of doing the work, waiting to send one big thoughtful message instead of replying in 30 seconds right now, or going on such a long quest for the perfect vacation itinerary that all the flights double in price. How do you fix it? The first step is always awareness. You don't need to leap into a bunch of new habits. You don't have to optimize your de-optimization. You start by just noticing. Oh, I'm doing that thing where I try to optimize everything. From there, see what happens when you deliberately test little things that aren't optimized. Go to the gym even if you already showered today. Go to the store to pick up one thing even if you don't have a full list. Pick something to eat even if you haven't read the full menu. When you practice under-optimizing the little things, you might find that you start to make progress more easily. And that might give you the confidence to make bigger moves without having everything perfectly planned out. You will waste resources on the way to achieving what you want out of life. There will be sunk costs. There will be wrong turns and dead ends. As long as you keep moving, the journey is not a failure. It's not over. Getting there perfectly isn't as important as getting there. Have you ever wondered why some creators make you feel inadequate while others lift you up? If you want to learn stuff online and not feel like crap about yourself, you've got to notice which creators have a deliberately aspirational brand. Lots of brands are aspirational because the person is really great at what they do. That's different from someone who wants you to admire them and look up to them. Someone with a brand that is deliberately aspirational is intentionally trying to cultivate distance between you and them. Whereas a person who genuinely wants to teach you or give you useful tools and resources is always trying to close the gap between where they are and where you are. They want you to succeed. They want you to catch up to them. And that means their content is going to make you feel motivated and pumped up, not deflated and discouraged. Deliberately aspirational content is entertainment. It's not about you. It's about them. Do not get it confused with education and genuine guidance. If you want to grow, look for teachers and mentors and exemplars who inspire and uplift you. The ones who make themselves look good, who are trying to impress you, they might be fun to watch for a while. But if you find yourself feeling jealous or inadequate or frustrated, that might be too high a price to pay. You deserve to feel better than that. Here's what so much leadership advice is missing. It's telling you to raise the bar. It's pushing you to get better. But here's the irony. Confidence comes from believing that you're good enough. So if you listen to that bro-y advice telling you there's another mountain to climb, you're going to keep believing you're not good enough. You're going to be gatekeeping yourself. You're going to be sending signals that you're not ready yet for whatever the next thing is that you want to do. So here are 4 things you can do instead to build confidence and leadership potential. Number 1, ground yourself. Be real about how far you've come, not just how far you think you need to go. Focusing only on what you have yet to accomplish is a distortion of reality. Number 2, get specific. Stop trying to improve yourself in general. What is the specific knowledge or skill that is missing that would actually help you? Focus on that. Invest in that. Number 3, find quiet. More input, especially a fire hose of endless free content, is only going to knock you off center if you're already feeling a little wobbly. Number 4, and this is the most important, embrace where you are today. It's always tempting to think that things will be better when you get the next role or the next client or whatever. But if you can't figure out how to find joy and satisfaction in your current situation, you won't find it in the next one either. What's one thing you know you need to do? And what's your next tiny step toward doing it? Now go do it. Here are 6 practical ways to make your work feel lighter and your energy go farther. Number 1, lower the volume of your voice. You may have seen teachers do this. Instead of trying to yell over their students, they quiet down to a whisper. So instead of putting in a lot of effort to meet other people's bold, manic energy, you can invite them to meet your calm, grounded energy. Number 2, wait and see. For the big things, you want to think ahead. But for the small things, you don't want to plan for every possible contingency. Don't try to anticipate what might happen. Just take it one step at a time. It's true that the ice cream shop might be out of mint chocolate chip by the time you get to the counter, but that doesn't mean you have to choose a backup flavor right now. Number 3, expect what you usually get. It might feel good for a minute to be like, can you believe she did that? But the fact is, yes, you probably can believe she did that because she probably does it all the time. Instead of getting riled up, accept reality. Then you can be pleasantly surprised if she doesn't do that thing that drives you nuts. Number 4, let people experience discomfort. Especially, let them experience the consequences of their own actions. The awkwardness you feel when someone else does something wrong is not yours. It's empathy. It's on their behalf. It's not yours to fix. Number 5, do something slowly. When we're under pressure, a lot of us have a tendency to rush. See what happens when you don't. Pick something small, like washing your face, or filling up your water bottle, or enjoying a bite of food, and take your time with it. You're not really saving much time when you hurry, but when you slow down, you save a lot of energy. Number 6, charge your phone outside your bedroom at night. The boss is asking for the wrong kind of help. And this explains why delegation often feels like a complete waste of time, even when competent people are involved. Whether you're the boss or the victim of the boss, you need this framework I'm about to share. There are 3 things you can delegate. The first is to delegate a task. Find the number for ABC plumbing. Tasks don't get you very far, unless they're routines that repeat. Otherwise, you only delegate a task when you don't trust someone yet, or you're trying to keep them busy. You can also delegate a project, like book ABC plumbing. A project is anything that takes more than one task to complete. So in this case, the person would have to find the number, make the call, book the appointment, and so on. But often, if you delegate a project, you're still doing a lot of the thinking. You're making a lot of the decisions, like picking the plumber, and that might be work that someone else could do. What's really powerful is to delegate the problem. The toilet's leaking. Please get it fixed. When you assign the problem, you're signaling trust and giving people space to be resourceful. Not only do you have to do less of the work, they might do it better than you. They might find solutions that you never would have thought of. They might even be more effective solutions that address the root of the problem and prevent it from happening again. Handing off a problem is less work than delegating a project or a task. But even better, capable people will find it way more satisfying than completing your checklist. For a high performer, owning both the problem and the solution is a lot more fulfilling than being micromanaged task by task. Delegating at the problem level, with proper support, unlocks your team's creativity and ingenuity. A leader will be more productive and less overwhelmed when they start trusting people with outcomes instead of tasks. Remember when USAID was dismantled back in January? And a lot of people said, well, it's about time. We shouldn't be spending all this money taking care of people in other countries when there's needy people right here in our country. This is the opportunity to take care of those needy people. Even if you believe that people shouldn't have their basic necessities taken care of by the government, if you believe that that shouldn't be the government's role, suddenly removing those benefits is cruel. It's inhumane. Remember when the United States was supposed to switch over to Real ID? The deadline was May 2025. But I remember signs going up at the airport years before that. They didn't want travelers to get caught out. The government gave states literally years of notice to prepare for the switch to Real ID. The government didn't give USAID's international partners any notice when it came to discontinuing funding for medical treatments and health programs. Well, we should be focusing on Americans. Okay, well, here we are. And now the government is doing the same thing to Americans. Suddenly cutting off access to food is dramatically different from giving people fair warning so they can prepare. It's tyrannical. It's cruel, and it has nothing to do with party affiliation or your belief in the role of government in society. Punishing people for being poor, punishing people for being vulnerable. That's abuse of power. Not to mention, it's not what Jesus taught. Hey, do you know what day Marta's taking off next week? What's the subtext of your question? Oh my God, do you know or not? Tuesday. But now I'm wondering what's broken. I'm just trying to figure out who's opening Wednesday. And why are you doing that? We've had a few people swap shifts and I'm having trouble keeping track of it all. You're still doing the schedule by hand? It's fine. I hate it, but it's fine. Maybe I can help. Well, now that you mention it, can you ask Ahmed if he can cover Tuesday afternoon? No. What? I don't just want to do that one task. Give me the whole thing. The whole thing? Let me build the schedule for next week. And a whole system for making sure everything's covered moving forward. And a system for people to request time off in advance so we don't have to do as much swapping around. Sounds like you've had a plan in the works. I've had my eye on things, waiting for the right moment. But it's so much work. Yeah, it's what you hired me for. This stuff is awful. I would feel bad making you do it. You're not making me do it. I want to do it. Really? It's so satisfying to fix problems. I wish I felt that way. I should be better at this stuff. You don't have to be. Just stay in your lane. Be good at what you're good at. Leave this to me. Okay, it's yours. Yes, you're so weird. What would I do without you? Probably cry into a spreadsheet. Want to be able to instantly stop a bad habit? Too bad. Most of the time, that's just not how human behavior works. When the gap between our expectations and reality is too wide, we won't be able to make the leap all in one go. And the more we try to push ourselves to instantly become a different person, the more ashamed and frustrated we'll be when we fail. The gap just gets wider. Changing our habits begins with accepting where we are and working from there. Even if we believe that our behavior is totally unacceptable and we have to quit right now. We're not going to try to leap across the gap. We're going to start by studying it. Let's use yelling at your kids as an example. Instead of hoping that you can suddenly go the whole day without yelling, you're going to simply observe and record reality without judgment. You're going to pick a 1-hour window of time, say 3 to 4 p.m. During that hour, every time you yell, you track it in some way. Make a tally mark or throw a marble into a dish. The next day, you're going to do the same thing. And the next. Now you know where you stand. Can you stabilize there? If you tracked an average of 12 yells over the last few days, can you keep it to no more than 12 today? From there, you can play with the variables. You could work on gradually reducing the number of times you yell during that same 1-hour time period. Or you could gradually extend the period of time you're tracking without increasing the total number of times you yell. Observing and tracking helps you to develop greater awareness. As a result, you'll notice an increased ability to be present and influence your own behavior. You'll be able to incorporate new approaches even if they didn't work in the past. You'll benefit even more from the right support. You'll see that tiny changes make a difference, which empowers you to make more tiny changes. As you do, you'll shrink that gap between reality and the ideal.
I have 45 precious minutes to myself. Time to make a quick call to my internet service provider. Should only take about 10-15 minutes, right? No, it takes the entire 45 minutes and then some, and then the problem still isn't resolved. And that kind of thing can make it feel absolutely hopeless to catch up if you feel overwhelmed or behind. I call this ugly progress. It does not look like progress. It's when you finally make time to record a video and then you find out your mic didn't pick anything up. Or when you spend hours shopping and don't find what you were looking for. Or you realize you have to scrap a project and start over even if you've already invested 10 hours into it. Or you lose something or someone important to you and there's no rhyme or reason to it. It all feels pointless. It's enough to make you want to give up and succumb to the chaos of the universe. But the work that you put into something is still progress, even if it doesn't seem like you're getting anywhere. Even if that work doesn't contribute directly to the final result. And it's not because you learned something. Maybe you didn't, and that's what's so frustrating about it. Maybe the ugly progress was truly pointless. But as long as you don't give up, you can still count it as progress. Life is hard, and we don't have control over much. So you might as well tell the story that motivates you to keep going. For me, that story is that the things that I do that don't seem to mean anything still can mean something. The ugly progress is still progress. I can't prove that it is, but it helps me to think that it is. And hope is worth a lot.
What do you do when something that should be easy feels too hard? If you're stuck, maybe kind of procrastinating and you're not really making progress in anything, your work needs to be more concrete. Like if your to-do list just says parking ticket, you're going to put that off. At least I would. The problem isn't your motivation or ability. It's that you're unconsciously rebelling against tasks that you haven't defined well enough. Here are 3 things you need to realize. Number 1, you might be thinking you have a task when you really have a project. A project is made up of multiple tasks. Number 2, you might not have identified all of the tasks that are part of your project. For example, say you have to call Jimothy. Before you can call Jimothy, you have to get Jimothy's number. There may be even more tasks involved. Unconsciously, you know this, and that gives you a sense of dread until you're clear on what all of those tasks are. Number 3, you might need to identify the actions you need to take for each of those tasks. What does it look like to do the work? What will you physically be doing? It might help to be specific. If you can visualize your work, it will be easier to do it. So let's deal with that parking ticket. First, let's add a verb to this task that right now is just a noun. Pay parking ticket. And then when you think about what it takes to do that, you'll see that this isn't a task, it's a project. And that might help you realize that you're missing steps. Number 1, find the parking ticket. Number 2, look at the parking ticket and figure out how to pay it. Then once you've done those steps, you'll see more to add. Number 3, write a check. Number 4, find a stamp. Number 5, address the envelope. Number 6, mail your parking ticket payment. Incorporating these 3 things into your task management, you'll be able to reduce your resistance and complete the project, even if you don't want to. At all. But once the thing is done, you'll be glad. And it'll be out of your life forever. Until the next time. Go ahead. Say I told you so. I would never. The meeting was a disaster. Oh no. At first, Katie seemed open to taking responsibility for what happened with Catherine. Good. She was like, yeah, I accept my part in this. But then Catherine was like, yeah, it definitely was your fault. Oof. Yeah. Everything pretty much fell apart after that. Katie stopped trying to make nice and just started sandbagging Catherine with everything she's put up with since they started working on this project together. And then Catherine was like, well, I wasn't going to say this, but since we're getting everything out into the open. Messy. It was very messy. What now? Well, I figure I'll talk to each of them separately and then try to bring them back together to try again now. No. What? Come on. You're a faster learner than that. You mean I made this worse by intervening? Yes. So now I have to fix it. How is intervening again going to make it better? I just don't know what else to do. Let me ask you this. What's the problem? I got 2 people on my team who can't get along. And how is that a problem? Of course it's a problem. If they can't, I didn't say it wasn't. I asked, how is it a problem? There's tension between the 2 of them. And how is that a problem? They have to work together. Sounds like that's their problem. But what if it slows down the project? Then you address that. But you don't try to patch up their relationship. You address only the operational issues that are slowing down the project. Okay. But does that include people being openly rude to each other? I'd say so. And then you address that behavior. Not the underlying feelings, not the history, not whether they like each other. You're responsible for getting the project done, not making sure everyone's still friends by the end of it. That feels so weird and unfinished. Yep, there's got to be something else I can try. Yeah, leaving them alone. Not treating them like toddlers on the playground who need to learn to share. I mean, in fairness, it seems like they do need to learn that lesson. True, just not from you.